Hello, good evening. So I want to begin a series of conversations, and I believe that it's going to be very, very helpful for anyone out there who wants to begin their career in human resources. Particularly, I'm speaking to a new HR manager um, who just joined the company and wants to start getting things done from the get go. So I'm asking that you pay attention in these few minutes that I have, to share with you. All right. So I was able to design a 90 day template that can help new HR managers um, do well in their new role. All right. So basically, I would I will be speaking from my outline. Okay, so assuming you're a new HR person and you just joined, let me not say new HR person, you were newly appointed as a HR manager for an organization. There are certain things you need to look out for. All right, and number one, um, you need to first of course, go through onboarding. Onboarding requires that you get to know the departmental heads, get to have a meeting with the CEO, the key decision makers. Very important. Never never underestimate anybody, no matter how much because we HR people sometimes we tend to have a chip on our shoulders because we know so much about organizational design, and so certain organizations may not have been set up properly, and in that case we might tend to towards some certain executives and not tilt towards it, or neglect or disregard others. Treat everybody equal. You are there to learn. The reason why they're in that role, you need to find out and also be able to appreciate and embrace that and recognize and honor them. So onboarding is very important and get to understand their pain points and also what their thoughts are. Is in that onboarding that you understand how people think and what their opinions could be regarding your role and your impact. Because if after 90 days that you've not created an impact, there will be a problem. There will be a problem. Never work in silos. It's difficult to work in silos. And of course, after you've met with heads of departments, kids showmakers, go and look at the organizational structure. Where do you report? How are reporting lines done? Do they have one? If they don't, then that's something you need to first of all sit down and start from there, right? Be able to put pen to paper and okay, meet with the CEO. Who are the direct reporting lines? Who are the managers? Who are the supervisors? Who are the key team members, and be able to channel all of them towards whether it's a lateral reporting structure or vertical. It depends on how the reporting structure is or the organogram is in the company. When you achieve that, you know, if they don't have or if they have, then move to the handbook. You need to understand it because you are the custodian of the handbook. You are the custodian of the handbook. So there's no excuse whatsoever not to have um, how do I put it now? Not to have a deep understanding of the handbook. That is very important. That is very critical as a HR manager, because I'm speaking to young people who may not have this understanding. We started HR. Some of us didn't have the necessary coaching and guidance, so we made mistakes. However, along the line, we got to meet mentors. We got to meet, people who have gone ahead of us that could give us that necessary support and coach. And I'm here to provide that. And of course, I also have people that I listen to and I recognize. All right, so the handbook is very important. Be able to understand and appreciate that whatever documents again that could be helpful or that might be helpful, also have to understand. Then of course, review existing HR practices. How do they do recruitment in the company? How do they, so even if you have worked as a HR officer and you're now promoted to HR manager, look at your what's the best practice to recruitment, right? What's the best practice to training? Because to whom much is given, much is expected. It's so important that we have that understanding, you know, and you need to now start fine tuning to global best practice. That's where the place of training comes in. Very, very important. And final, are there pending HR tasks that requires what's it called now? Um, that requires attention. Some people have they been confirmed since they joined the company. You need to confirm them, right? Some people have they um, done appraisal? Have they closed out on the appraisal? Were there queries that were not responded to? Some of those little HR administrative tasks needs to be sorted out, right? Then of course getting to understand your team. If you have a team or you require that you build a team, you need to get it done in the first 30 days. All these that I've mentioned has to happen in the first 30 days. Then of course, um, be able to start working on your reports, because you need to have been able to come up with a report of what is the existing status quo right now that you've assumed that office, what is going on, then how, what do you want to implement. Your boss most times is the CEO, or it's a director in the company that you report to. That's fine. I'm a Christian, so I pray certainly that each time I join a company, I report to the right person who will give me necessary support, and also free hand to do my work. All right, so that is very critical. All right, so have that at the back of your mind when you're working on your report. Build a report. It's more like you have done an audit as to HR practices within the company and what you need to put into place. All right. Then the next thing again is to now say some companies can permit you to do an employee survey. Excuse me. You can do an employee survey where you try to also hear from the employees. The alternative could be that you have a town hall meeting. So regardless of whether they are dispersed, maybe they are out of the office, maybe they are different locations, you can decide to do a town hall meeting, a web or a teleconference town hall meeting. That can help, right? Where you now have to now start getting to know them. Have somebody also in executive that could also introduce you. You need that support. You need that so that whenever you're putting up, bringing up initiatives, you are getting the necessary backing. All right. Then of course, when you've done that, you by then you must have built your reports, gotten management buy-in, and then of course you are communicating now your strategic HR direction. Where am I going now? This is my recruitment benchmark. This is my appraisal. This is what I want. This is standard. Then, of course, once you have done that, of course, you are moving on to job descriptions, because you need to hit the ground running. There's no time. Work on job descriptions. Make sure that each file has job descriptions. Make sure that each staff have job description. Communicate. It's going to be tiresome. It's going to be burdensome. Sorry, it's going to be a whole lot of work, but it's worth it, right? So if you've done that, then of course find out if there are policies. Rework the onboarding process. So if somebody joins your company, for instance, what do they need to know when they come into the company? Those things are very fundamental. All right. I don't intend to spend much time. I've been able to deal with the first 30 days. I'm going to still move on to the next 60 days, what you're meant to do. That is after the first 30 days, the next 30 days, and then the next 30 days. So total will now be 90 days. So I'll be speaking 30, 30, 30, and to be in 3 videos. So on these first 30 days, you must do your onboarding properly, have meetings with departmental heads, meetings with executive management, of course, review the org structure, understand where you report to, understand reporting lines, ask if they have an organogram, work on the employee handbook if possible, then of course move to understanding HR practices, what is existing and what should be implemented, have an understanding, have an audit report, a HR diagnostics report that shows this is where we are in terms of HR, and of course this is where we should go to. Then of course be able to have an employee, so they can understand what are employee pain points, and also what you feel that you can do within your power. There are certain things that you might be able to do within your power, while there's certain things you need to communicate that to the management. Then after that, you now come up with a strategic direction or conclusive reports that you can present to management and say, this is what is going on right now. This is what I think we should do. Then of course have an agreement as to, okay, with the next direction. Once you have done that, you start communication. Communication is one of the bedrock of success as a HR manager. You must communicate every decision the management are taking, whether they've taken or they did not take. So not taking requires communication, taking requires communication. So there's no time you should be quiet, because you must keep the employees well informed at every point in time. All right. Thank you so much. If this video has been helpful, please do like it, share, comment, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Bye.